Hey y'all, so this is part 2 of the tactical lever gun build, and we've run into a couple bumps in the road, and I'm going to talk about them and talk about ideas I have to fix them. So, you'll notice the handguard is off, which took quite a lot of effort because I had to cut out the front here. I don't know how well it shows up. But basically what happened was, to pull off the handguard, you either cut it off and pull it off the front, or you have to completely disassemble and take down the gun to get to the magazine tube to pull it off the back. I was not interested in doing that. So I cut it off the front because it's plastic. I don't really like plastic. I'm not that worried about it. It's gone. Okay. So I noticed the original handguard wiggled a little bit. I just thought it was because it was plastic and it was a poor fit. Turns out there's a tenon. They call it a tenon. Yes, I had to look it up too. Right here, it's a little piece that's dovetailed into the barrel, right? And that's what holds the front handguard on. Well, that slides back and forth. So when I went and put the Midwest Industries rail on, which fit really nice product, it moves even more because of this piece sliding back and forth. Now, the instructions for the Midwest Industries rail say you might have to red Loctite that or get it staked. The red Loctite I put on there did not hold for more than a day, and I imagine that staking it, I don't know how to stake anything like that, but I imagine that it would probably hold a little bit better, but not as good as what I hope to do. So I contacted a gunsmith because my initial thought was to just try and JB weld this. Get some epoxy, put it along this piece, right, and then keep it from sliding back and forth. I don't know, again, I don't know how well it shows up, but it is dovetailed in there, and I could epoxy it in that. I thought about doing that, but then I realized that, well, I don't know how well epoxy would take to the heat of the barrel, the vibration of firing it, and all that. And I thought to myself, wow, I could have a gunsmith weld it, and then it would be solid, good, whatever. So that's what I'm planning on doing. I've contacted a local gunsmith, and I'm going to see if they can put a bead on here and weld this solid so it never moves again, and I create a very nice, stable mounting platform for my handguard. So that's issue number 1. Issue number 2 is either much bigger or much smaller. Now, I'm going to put a couple pictures in here of this rail. And as you could see from those pictures, this rail mounts crooked. Now, I remounted it like twice just to make sure I didn't somehow screw something up. And it's mounted crooked to the right. Now, I can't tell how canted it is, but it is definitely mounted crooked to the right. Now, that is one of two things. One, either the rail is messed up, in which case I have another rail on the way, same brand. This is a Henry brand rail. I have another rail on the way that I'm going to try and attach to the top, and if that's mounted crooked, then I'm going to guess that it's the holes in the top of the receiver, which is a much bigger issue. Replacing the rail, it's a $30 rail. Got it off Amazon. I'm literally just going to, got caught here. I'm literally just going to swap them out. So if it ends up being the receiver holes are drilled in properly, well, now it definitely has to go back to Henry, who I've already contacted about the issue, and let's just say I was reminded that it was made in, or that most of Henry's are made in Jersey. Yeah, I got to deal with the Henry Jersey call center, and yeah, that was exciting and fun. I had the first woman insist that because I didn't buy the rail directly from Henry, that they can't cover it. And I said, I'm like, well, it's a Henry product. Here's the Henry packaging right here. I read her off all the numbers, and then she proceeded to tell me that, oh well, someone could have taken another rail, stuck it in their packaging, right, and sold it as their rail. And I'm like, I really don't think that happened. I'm like, it's a $30 rail. I really don't think someone's going to the hassle of faking a product to put it in your packaging to sell it. Maybe they are, but I highly doubt that, and it looks exactly like the rail that it's supposed to be. So she told me that basically I would have to return that, purchase one directly from their Henry Pride website, and then if that was still crooked, then I could send it in. Well, 2 people later, after I pretty much said, I'm like, well, that's not the only issue with the gun, mentioning this. Then I finally got to someone that was at a little more decency and must have been an out-of-stater, and basically told me that they were going to submit a warranty thing, and if it got approved, I was going to send the gun in. I really don't want to send the gun in because this, again, this can be fixed by any gunsmith, and if this is just a fix as easy as swapping to a different rail, I really don't want to send the gun in because it's UPS, and I don't feel like driving an hour to the UPS hub, dropping off the gun, dealing with UPS giving me a hard time because it's a firearm, blah, 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 back and forth, back and forth. So if I can fix this, I'd rather pay the money to have a gunsmith weld this and go through the trouble of putting on a new rail than having to deal with Henry and waiting God knows how long to get the gun back from Henry. So that's kind of where I'm at right now. Now the Optic is on there, and it's really nice. Again, I haven't even tried the Zero because the rail's so crooked. But originally I thought the Optic wasn't going to work because of my astigmatism. But once I switched it to auto, it turns it down quite a bit. Because I had it on manual, I kept turning it down, and it was still blurred. Once I switched it to auto, it does seem to come out pretty clear. So I'm excited to see. Once I get a proper rail on this and I'm able to get it zeroed, I'm excited to see what I can do with it because it does seem like a nice optic, and it does mount pretty nice. Now it is a little bit higher than I would have liked because I kind of only can get like a partial cheek weld, but I think once I get used to it, it'll be nice because I did notice that when I would hunch down to get the sights, it was kind of a bit low. So I guess I'd rather a little bit high than a little bit low. So I'm excited to see what happens there. But that's the update on the tactical lever gun build. As usual, there's issues because it's me. But yeah, that's what I'm working on. I'm hoping by Monday, because the new reel comes Monday, and I'm hoping to talk to the gunsmith on Monday. I'm hoping to get some answers, get some repairs, and maybe by the end of next week, maybe, fingers crossed, this will be on there solid for good. The flashlight showed up today, and I hope to see it in action. Get some range time with this and have fun. So if you have any questions or ideas for what to do with this rifle, be sure to put them down below, and have a good day.